CHÄY, Director of Training Education for Power Plate. We're back, week 4, the final week of the My5 beginner program. So really excited about, hopefully you've taken the last 3 weeks and you feel better, you're moving better, you're sleeping better, and nothing else, you've really become much more customized and familiar with the product. So let's get started. Okay, so nothing's going to change for the stretch. So we're going to get directly into the quad hip flexor stretch. At this point, I'll leave it up to you if you want to continue to stabilize. Again, progression. The more that you can kind of do without, the more that you're going to get more kind of bang for your buck. So, stretch, hold, pelvic tilt. Next time for the stretch, we would then normally switch legs. Okay, so that's our standing hip. We're going to go into our standing hamstring. Chest up, bow into it. This one, again, if you want to hold on. The main thing about holding on here is that it usually has a tendency to keep our chest up. We'll have a tendency to kind of round our back. So if nothing else, that keeps your chest up. Hold on, and that'll be a nice focal point. So we're going to dorsiflex, chest up, bow right into it. Same setting. We'll go ahead and do both sides. Inner thigh. You're now a pro at the inner thigh. Chest up, leg lock, foot flat. This week we're going to take away the handle. She's challenging herself, so actually a little bit more core activation. Repeat, stretch for the remote control. Do both sides. And then finally we'll finish with the lat stretch. So we're in child's pose. She brings calibrates on the remote control with her. She hits repeat, or the stretch button, and now she's in position, same thing. By this time you should have a nice, your shoulder mobility is probably hopefully improved, especially your lat muscle. Okay, great. So, now into the stretch. Next, we're going to go into our single leg balance. So this is week 3 now, we're single leg balance. So I'm going to have THAO come up. By now, I don't want you to hold on. I'm giving you a couple weeks of challenging. I'm giving you the opportunity, but now you're on your own. So she's in this position, she's stabilizing, she hits the repeat button, hold, and progression from here is to now go a little deeper. So the deeper you go, the more of a challenge. So that's your progression. She would do both sides, and that would be the single leg balance. Okay? We introduced the glute bridge last week. Today we're going to introduce the plank for the core. So they're 2 standard core exercises that are kind of part of everyone's program. So I want to definitely demonstrate the plank exercise. The key here is we want to keep the elbows off the plate. So I'm going to slide Kyle off just a little bit. We want all the pressure right on the forearm. She's going to sit back in the heels. We're going to keep the exact same kind of intensity on the machine. And so the main thing is she's here, she's strong, she's stabilizing in a plank. And the main thing is she just wants to kind of pull down and engage in the product. I want to feel like that she's kind of pushing back into the product as much as possible. So everything is right through the forearms, stabilizing, and really get a great abdominal workout. Great. So we went from the single leg balance, we introduced a plank for our core, and now we're going to get back into our strength phase. Now, progression here is we are now going to take you off your knees for the push-ups. So after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're now ready to go. So we're going to take your knees off. You're going to be in a very similar to that plank position. You're going to go halfway down, and we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. So you'll notice immediately when you go from the knees off to the knees up that this is a much harder exercise. So 30 seconds, good form. She's driving into the plate, stabilizing. It's also one of the best exercises we can do for her core, and she would hold that for 30 seconds. Good. Next, we're going to go back to the squat with bicep curl. So Kyle's going to grab the straps, keep them as short as possible, keep them just below 90 degrees. We're not going to cross. We're going to go directly. There you go. Okay, chest up. We're going to drop down, and we're going to hit repeat here, and she's going to engage by bringing the palms towards the ceiling. We want to go up. And a lot of people have a tendency to kind of bring the elbows back. So our goal is to have those things go straight up. I want to feel like I hear those straps rip, and we get that bicep curl and stay strong in the squat. We're still on a static squat. We really all still want the pressure right in the quad. Okay, and hold and relax. Okay, now we're going to step off into the row. So we're going to still do the row off. Chest up, crossing the straps, elbows in. She's pulling. She's still feeling the leg workout from the last exercise. We hit repeat, stretch, or the row. She's pulling as tight as possible. Remember, if you're on your own, whatever you put into it, you get back in return, pull, and relax. Right. So that is round 1, that is circuit 1. We're going to come back for circuit 2. Back to the push-ups. Knees are off. So we're back up in a standard push position. She's going to drop down. At this point, if you just don't feel like you can keep good form with the elbow, drop to your knees. At any given point, it matters most about your elbow bend than about what's happening in your knees. Okay? So the goal is here. She's stabilizing, pushing, driving, and the focus is on her chest and her tricep. Okay? And relax. Okay? Now from there, we're going to go directly back into the squat position and do the integrated row. So as you can see, I'm kind of going off and on the plate. I'm giving those legs a chance to recover while we're doing an upper body. And in this case, we're going to blast them both. So we're going to cross, very similar to what we do on the floor. Kyle's going to bend over. It's more of the row position. Elbows close to the body. She's going to pull. Elbows tight. She's going straight up. So she's focusing on driving, bringing the straps directly to her chest. Same setting, 30 seconds. She's getting that squat program here again. Pull. Very good. And then finally we get into the last exercise of the strength phase, which is the tricep dip. I'm sure after both push-ups, the triceps are probably fatigued pretty much. So I'll leave that up to you. The more you have a knee bend, the easier it is. If you'd like to extend out a little bit and lock the legs out, that's going to be a little bit more difficult. So you can do either one depending on kind of what your strength level is at this time. And we're going to drop down halfway, hold, stabilize, just feeling it here. Go as deep as you feel comfortable with that shoulder. You want to stay as close to the plate as possible. Keep that chest up. And we're going to hold that for 30 seconds. We're still on the exact same. We haven't intensified the machine since day 1. And relax. So So that is the strength phase. We've gone through the stretch, we've gone through the single leg balance, we've introduced the plank, a great core exercise, we've gone through our series of strength, and then finally, what better way again to finish up our workout is the massage. So we're going to start with the quad position. Just that here. I'm on the massage setting. Typical quad position. You're probably very familiar with it by now. It feels great. You probably also played with bring your ankles up. You can kind of rest them here, go side to side, whatever's comfortable. Play around with it. From here, we go directly to the hamstring. So I'm going to flip the pile over. Just going to open up the chest, relax the head and the neck. Same thing. We hit repeat. We hit a remote control with her. Glutes, hamstrings. You can always roll the legs back and forth to get a little bit more different muscle of the calf. Next, we're going to go into the IT band. Have her come on the plate a little bit more to the hip. That's it. Full contact with the upper and lower leg. 1 minute here. We're on the exact same massage setting with the remote control. She would normally flip over for the last side. And then finally we'll finish with the calf. So she's down. Depending on the workout, she might be completely laying down. But she's here, relaxed. We hit the remote control. Nice calf. She can rotate the ankles a little bit.